So that's it. Everything's under control. Look, I'm sorry I couldn't pick you up anymore.
Don't be silly. You've had enough to do. I'm glad you were here.
Yeah.
I don't mean
I know.
that you saw him.
Yeah.
I would have come too, except Francis thought it would scare him. Me coming from New York, you from LA all of a sudden.
Probably. Now, we got about 20 minutes before we have to leave. Do you want to go to the motel? Check in? Unpack? How about some lunch?
I ate on the plane.
The motel's not much, but it's close by.
Motels are motels.
You could have stayed here.
No, I'd rather be near you. Anyway, her daughter's coming, isn't she? Phyllis.
Why do you say it that way?
The name fits her.
We only met her that one time.
Once was enough. All she talked about was how her husband hasn't slept with her in 3 years.
Well, Phyllis isn't coming.
Good.
Anyways, Francis doesn't want her here until afterwards. After we leave.
Makes sense.
Francis makes a lot of sense. Sometimes.
Remarkable lady.
You're telling me.
So there'll just be the three of us tonight then?
Yeah. Do you want to drive around or something? Get your bearings?
No. Unless you do.
No.
It's nice being on a lagoon. Do those fish jump because they're after something or because something's after them?
Something's always after something. So we pick him up about 12:30, come back here, see if there's anything she needs.
Okay.
Frances wants to be involved. She's made that clear. She knows how she wants it done, so we check with her first.
Where is he now?
Now,
At this moment?
he's at the crematorium. He's being cremated.
Crematorium.
After that, he goes to the mortuary, funeral home.
Mortuary. Place of death. Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that wonderful?
Latin. It's so precise. Crematorium from cremare, to burn, place where you burn people. Auditorium, audiere, to hear, place where you hear people. Sanatorium, sanare, to cure, place where you cure people. Vomitorium.
Connie!
It all makes sense.
Nothing makes sense around here.
So, when we pick him up, what do we do with him?
We bring him here.
Why can't he stay there until it's time to finish
She
him?
wants him here. She wants to be close to him.
I see.
You don't have to go. I can pick him up.
No, I want to go with you. I don't want you to protect me from all of this.
Okay.
I want to know things.
All right. There's a few things that you can help with. She wants you to write an obituary.
What?
See if you can get it published in the New York Times.
David,
I'm only repeating what she
the
said.
Times has its own people for that. Why would they run anything on Dad anyway? He wasn't famous. He never lived in New York.
You're to try.
To try what?
Pulling a few strings.
What strings? The only thing of mine the Times ever published is a letter on the op-ed page about acid rain.
Nevertheless, Frances says her father was descended from one of America's most finest families, and that time should know his passing.
I can put in a death notice. Any paper will publish that if you pay for it. Does she want...
I don't know! Connie, you handle it, okay?
Okay. What else?
This. You take this to the police station.
What is it?
The belt, the holster, the cartridges.
Why are they in a pillow?
I don't know! That's what you put them in.
Where's the gun?
You took it. Now when you give them those, make sure you get a receipt. And here's a map. I've marked where things are. Here we are. Here's the Parker's funeral home. Here's a motel, here's a police station, and here's a church. St. Andrews. It's Episcopal. Covenant's a minister. You could take her car, I have his. It wasn't nice.
You just got back and saw the police cars? Did you guess?
I must have. I remember feeling short of breath and a pulse in my throat.
You never saw him afterwards?
I didn't want to.
I don't blame you. The last image sticks.
The last image.
When did you call me? Right after?
As soon as the ambulance left, I went inside and saw her friend, and the doctor. I didn't want her to hear anything. Funny thing, after I got off the phone with you, I went in the hall and realized there was someone listening outside. It was a detective. He asked me if there was anything I wanted to tell him. I didn't know what he was talking about. Then I realized that it's a routine with suicide. They have to check to make sure.
To make sure it was suicide. You mean they thought she might
It's
have...
a routine question. She had grabbed the gun from his hand. God damn her, Florida. If they hadn't lost my luggage, I would have been there.
David.
Funny thing. That gun was in the desk next to his bed for as long as I can remember. I remember asking Mom what it was for. Burglary, she said. All those years. Wigs and used.
I need a drink. What is there around here? Oh good, vodka, gin, what do you have?
Vodka and gin will be fine. We need to pick some up. Vodka.
So what happens to the ashes?
She wants me to spread them in the Gulf.
Who does that?
I do.
Why should you have to do that? Aren't there people who do that from a plane or a boat or something?
Usually yes, but
Why can't the minister take care of spreading the ashes?
he offered to. The funeral director also offered to. But she doesn't want him to be in the hands of strangers.
To Jonathan Reed, to the guts it must have taken. It was so in character. Never complain and never explain. Time's up, end it, bingo. There's something almost elegant about it. Like him, elegant. He could look regal even in a bathing suit, and always neat as a pin.
Shooting yourself isn't neat. It's messy. Very messy.
I thought you might do something like this. She did too. You suppose she's all right?
Mm-hmm. She wants to get the pony gun. How do you know she did?
She mentioned it once on the phone after the cancer got bad. She said she wanted to take the gun away, but she was afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of touching it. Afraid it would go off. Afraid of how angry he'd be when he found out, so she left it there.
He had the right to end his life the way he wanted.
Absolutely, I agree. Did you ever get a chance to talk to him?
For a moment. I told him how Sally and the was doing, and that they sent her love.
That's good.
On the plane coming here, I made a list of things that I wanted to ask him about himself, but never really got the courage to ask. But I did ask him one thing. Have you been happy? Simple question, have you been happy? He looked at me, got up, and walked away. That's my list imagery. I finally get the nerve to ask him something personal, and he shoots himself.
Oh, David.
He waited to lie down. I went to the airport to pick up my bags. A few moments later, it was over.
Thank God for Francis. Can you imagine what would have happened if he hadn't married her?
I don't want to think about it.
He would have come to live with one of us, and we would have killed him. He waited for you.
You think so?
I know so.
I wonder about that.
He knew you could handle things, get things organized.
Yes, well,
He knew he could count on you.
you see, everybody says how well organized I am, but I'm not. What I am is in a panic most of the time. I envy people who can be messy. It terrifies me. If things aren't in order, I go to pieces.
He loved you, David.
So Mom always used to say.
Anyway, tell me about the burial, the ceremony. Is it done from a boat?
Yes, but the boat that Mr. Parker has on such occasion is too small to hold all of us.
So we get a bigger boat.
She has a friend who has a yacht, but he's out of town.
Hire a bigger boat then. She has the money.
She doesn't want him to be among strangers.
What are you supposed to do?
She wants me to spread them in the Gulf. Out there.
Out there. You mean right outside?
What Francis wants, Francis gets. We owe her.
Suppose they blow back
They
the
won't.
Okay. How is it done?
That's what I wanted to know. So I went to Mr. Parker this morning to ask him a few questions. He lives in the funeral home. He was having breakfast in his bathroom.
And?
And the ashes come in a black plastic box, which measures approximately 7 by 12 inches and weighs about 5 to 7 pounds. That's why I want to get there early. I want to see it, hold it, learn how to open it. I don't want to be struggling out there on the shore and having to ask you to go get a screwdriver.
I didn't know ashes weighed so much.
Evidently, they're not really ashes. They're more like pebbles or gravel, calcium. We're mostly made out of calcium. Mr. Parker suggests that I lay the ashes on top of the water instead of tossing them or scattering them. Because if there's a breeze off the Gulf, they might blow back into the shore.
What can I do to help?
Several things. Mr. Parker said I should wade into the water at least knee deep.
Why?
Well, first of all, it looks better than scooping over.
David, who cares if you stoop or not? Just make it easy on yourself and lay it on the water.
No, you'll just sit there.
What do you mean?
If we lay the ashes in 2 or 3 inches of water, they'll just sit there. We'll see them. Sitting there. I don't think we want that, do we?
No, definitely not.
We want them to be carried out to the sea. On the tide. When the tide goes out.
Do you plan on wearing a bathing suit to bury our father?
No, I don't look regal in a bathing suit. I plan to roll my pant legs.
Is that before or after I hand you the screwdriver?
Well, I brought a bikini, but that's it. No, what I thought was that we go outside, I'd go get the box from wherever it is, I'd hand you the box, I'd roll my pant legs.
David!
Well, it wouldn't look right with me walking to the water's edge with my pant legs rolled up.
Why don't you just walk into the water and get your pants wet?
That's not a bad idea. But I'd have to bring an extra pair of pants. Bring pants.
So, when does this all happen?
She wants to do it when the sun is setting or when the moon is rising.
Oh, for God's sakes.
So I called the Miami Weather Bureau.
You did it.
Well, how else was I gonna know? A, if it'd be a clear night. B, when the sun would set. It goes by very quickly, you know. And C, when and where the moon would rise. And the sun sets at 6:47 p.m., the moon rises at 10:40 p.m., but it doesn't matter. It'll be an overcast. We won't be able to see anything rise or set. So I told her this, and she said that we'll just do it when it's completely dark, at 9 p.m.
I'm glad that's settled.
But it raises a problem. Low tide is at 9 p.m. So, as Mr. Parker said, I'll have to walk out some 15, 20 feet until I get knee deep. That's where you come in. I want you to hold the flashlight. I don't want to be out there and can't see. I might drop our father's ashes.
Is this getting a bit baroque?
Baroque? This family is Baroque.
All right, I'll hold the flashlight. Has she got one?
She has, but it needs batteries. Yes, batteries. And sneakers.
Sneakers. Can you just go in barefoot?
Evidently not. The embankment is made of oyster shells, and they can be sharp and can cut your feet. Thus, sneakers.
Wouldn't candlelight be nicer?
What?
Candlelight. It's so much softer, prettier. A flashlight.
I can see by flashlight. I want to see.
It seems wrong to bury someone by flashlight. You hunt frogs by flashlight.
Connie, I'm warning you. Don't mess things up.
Mess them up. I'm just trying to turn a horror story into something with some poetry in it. She has candelabras. If she held one and I held one, that's 6 candles.
I don't want candles. They can blow out and I can fall
I'll
down.
have the flashlight in my pocket.
A flashlight is reliable. I'll be some 15 or 20 feet.
I'll try it when it gets dark and see.
Conditions change. There might be a hurricane blowing at 9 p.m.
That's ridiculous.
Look, if you want to spread the ashes by candlelight, go ahead. I'm spreading them by flashlight. Sometimes you don't think.
Sometimes you overthink.
Oh, why don't we list 12 young maidens following those torches, saying, "Near my God to thee," as they scatter rose petals? How about that for poetry? Have
David.
you seen the green sponge they call grass around here? I can picture you and Francis walking down to the lagoon while I trip ahead of you. Flames flickering, pants rolled up. That'd be a truly poetic sight.
You're terrible.
I'm serious. I can picture her falling down and going up in flames.
Why do you always imagine catastrophes?
Because they always happen. I get paid to imagine them happening. That's how I get shows in on time and on budget.
You're not line producing this.
Yes, I am. It's the only way I can get through it.
All right. You can have your flashlight, but I want something.
Like what?
Something to make it make sense. A song
A
or...
song? Oh, please no. I'll give the flashlight, but don't sing.
You shit! You always say that.
But it's true. You have a tin ear.
You don't think I hear when I go off key? I do. I just don't exactly know how to get back on. But Frances sings. I can follow her.
How do you know she sings?
She plays the piano.
So you expect me to stand knee-deep in water while you two sing?
Okay. Okay, words then.
Words.
Yes, words, David. Words. A sonnet, a poem. We can't let him go without saying something.
Fine. Please do. But make it short.
You forget the power of a few simple words.
Not at all. A few simple words can mean a great deal sometimes. Just don't let me drown there.
David, do other people have these kinds of problems?
Other people go out in boats and they're not afraid of strangers.
I resent for doing this to you. This isn't India. You're not Indira Gandhi's son.
What?
Dumping his mother's ashes into the Ganges.
Honey, please don't bring India into this. I'll be fine. Now there's one thing we have to do before we leave. The cremains. That's what they're called. The cremains come in a plastic bag, which is placed in a black box. Mr. Parker said that I should remove the bag from the box and pour the ashes from the bag into the box before spraying. Because I might be under some emotional stress, and I can drop the ashes into water. Once the ashes are in the box, I can just tip them out and they'll come out clean. So if you could take her out sometime this afternoon, I'll go into the bathroom and remove the bag from the box and pour the ashes from the bag into the box. And if some part of Jonathan Reed goes on the dream, well, some part of life usually does.
I have a suggestion. Why don't we ask Mr. Parker to put the cremains into the box before we take them?
That's a good idea. I'm certainly glad you're here. Oh, it's time to go. Vodka, batteries, sneakers, pants, pillowcase. Was there anything else you needed? That's great. I keep thinking all this can be simpler somehow. Do you?
It's okay. It'll be fine.
Maybe if I did a mess. Never mind.
David! David, I have St. Andrews on the line. Would you mind it? David? Hold on one moment, please. David? David?